I waited patiently for the Lord, and he inclined unto me, and heard my cry. David begins this psalm with a heart full of testimony. I waited patiently as a declaration of trust and steadfast hope in the midst of struggle. David cried out, not in despair, but in faith. God inclined, leaned in to hear him. This paints a picture of God not far off, but close, attentive, and willing to respond to the cries of the faithful. In Paul's writings, we see this same dynamic of waiting and faith rewarded in Romans 8:25. But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it, just like David. Paul encourages believers to wait patiently for the fulfillment of God's promises. Under grace, our waiting is tied not just to deliverance in this life, but to eternal glory. David's deliverance was often from physical danger. Ours in this age of grace is from sin and eternal separation from God. Ephesians 2:13-14 reminds us, But now in Christ Jesus ye who sometimes were far off are made nigh by the blood of Christ. For he is our peace, just as God leaned in to David. He has now drawn all men near through Jesus Christ. This patience is rooted in assurance, faith that God will act. Galatians 6:9 encourages us, and let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap, if we faint not. Paul echoes David's experience. Patient faith brings a sure harvest. You may be in a season where you're crying out to God, feeling unheard or forgotten. But remember David's testimony and Paul's confirmation. God hears, he inclines, he leans toward you. You're not forgotten. You're in the waiting room of grace. Through Jesus, God has already drawn near. The question is, will you trust him long enough to see the deliverance? In this age of grace, waiting is not wasted time. It is proof of faith. Christ has already made the way, and every moment you wait and trust is a moment God is working. Don't give up. Cry out. Wait patiently and watch him move, not because you are perfect, but because he is full of grace and truth.